So welcome to all of you in Azure DevOps and Terraform integrated course. This is the batch number 2, which we are going to start from today. The duration of the course is 2.5 months, and here around 95 to 96% time will focus on the practical implementation. Why I'm saying not 100% the region the first day, mean today the first day we'll try to prepare the foundation for all upcoming session. That's why I'm saying it will be around 95%. 95% time will focus on practical implementation. Going forward in future, there's no PPT, nothing, just practical implementation, which we are going to start from tomorrow. There'll be total 2 trainers involved. One, I'm the one person. So as you know, as most of you know, my name is Aradhya Singh. I'm the part of industry since last 2 decades, working on Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing since last 15 years and providing this type of training and certification since last 13 years. Currently, I work in a company named is Jaguar. Prior to Jaguar, I was a part of HCL Technology Limited, Accenture, Microsoft Skype, London, E&Y, and Headstrong Capital Market, which is also called the Genpact. So I started my career from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. There's a company over there, PC3 Technology. So I was the part of that company deployed in Malaysia, Singapore, and several other countries close to Malaysia. After it, I joined HCL Technology Limited. From HCL, I moved to Microsoft to Accenture to EY to Headstrong Capital Market, which is also called the Genpact. It's a G company. So today the first session, and in beginning I told you there'll be total 2 trainers involved. One, I'm the one person. From tomorrow, the Virat will join. Today Virat is traveling, so he's not available. So from tomorrow he will join. So Virat, let me tell you something about Virat. Virat is one of my students to whom I trained in 2018, and since last 5 to 6 years he's the part of Microsoft. So Microsoft Noida. So he's working on the core services and he's actively involved with me in different type of training and certifications. He's also having around 13 years of experience in IT industry, and since last close to 6 years, he's the part of Microsoft. So before starting anything, so wanted to clear with you guys, DevOps, Cloud, Terraform, data engineering services are foundation for modern cloud ecosystem. For example, in case you want to transform your career, you want to do much better in IT ecosystem, so these are some of the platform. Whatever you see on my screen, these are some of the platform that you must learn. For example, some of you are already working on MS Fabric, maybe others are working on Databricks, or maybe some of you are already working on SQL, PySpark, Docker, DevOps, or something else. So whenever you're going to start your journey, so there should be a proper learning curve. For example, suppose, just tell me one thing. Without graduation, is it possible to enroll for the post-graduation? Banu, Devi?
No, sir. There is
Not
no such
possible.
assumption.
Correct. So why it is important? Or without 10th, you cannot enroll for the 12th or graduation. So I'm not telling one is the 10th, second is the 12th or graduation. So there's some learning curve that you guys have to follow. First, you have to understand you cannot say, hey, one is good, another is bad. Whatever the services, whatever the tools and technology, or whatever the offerings are from the COE side, these are the best in class. That's why COE is offering these courses. Some of you are already working on Azure services. So you see here, we have a program running which is called the Azure Mastery Program. In Azure Mastery Program, we are covering 40 cloud services. These cloud services are the foundation for your career. For example, going forward, if you're applying to work as an automation engineer, like you want to work on the DevOps and Terraform, or you're applying to work as a data engineer, like you want to work on the MS Fabric, Databricks, or any other profile you're applying to target. For example, you're applying to target the security engineer. Okay, you're applying to or get any other profile, AI engineer. In all these cases, uh, this will be the foundation for everything. Example I'll give you. Suppose you're working as a data break engineer. In your project or in your solution, there several services will be used. For example, maybe Databricks, Azure SQL, storage account, event hub, APIM, which is also called the API management, service bus, uh, app service plan, app service environment, and so many other services will be used. So other services, Databricks is third party. And whatever the other services I was talking about, those are the Microsoft services. That's why we have a proper learning path. So if you don't know anything, suppose you're totally new to the industry, you're not new to the cloud ecosystem. So ideally, I suggest to start your career from Azure Mastery Program. In Azure Mastery Program, you'll get opportunity to learn 40 cloud services. And whatever the services we are covering, 40 cloud services we are covering, these are the infra services, PaaS services, as well as the SaaS services with the manual and through the automation. Both we are covering here. After it, there'll be two options. If you want, you can appear as a data engineer. If you're planning to appear as a data engineer, there are two options available. Option number one is low code approach. Or low code approach, it means in this case, you can learn the MS Fabric. The second option is code-based approach. Over there, you guys can learn the Databricks. So Databricks is not a Microsoft product. It's a third-party product already integrated in Microsoft Azure. And if I'm talking about the MS Fabric, it's a Microsoft product. So it means the first learning curve is after Azure Mastery, you guys can appear as a data engineer. The second is if you're planning to work as an automation engineer, so this is the first learning, this is the learning path for the automation engineering. So in that case, you have to learn the Azure DevOps plus Terraform. So now question is why Terraform? What is Terraform? Again, Terraform, similar like the Databricks, Terraform is not a Microsoft product. Azure DevOps is Microsoft product, while Terraform is the third party. So there's another company named as Hasi Corp Limited, which is also called the SCL. It's the SCL product. Terraform is mainly used for the automation purpose, while DevOps is mainly used for the CI/CD pipeline. There are two types of DevOps platforms are available. One is open source DevOps. Over there, you have to learn so many, third-party tools. While here, you no need to learn different tools or technology. You have to learn only Azure DevOps. Here, all the services are internally integrated. So learning Azure DevOps is very, 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 very easy compared to open source DevOps. Again, repeating, one learning path, you can appear as a data engineer. And the second is you guys can appear as an automation engineer. If anyone who is already working as a data engineer, so what they are doing in their project, they are using all these platforms. For example, 100% Databricks or MS Fabric projects are using Terraform, either Terraform or Bicep. So Bicep is Microsoft's own product, while Terraform is the third party. So Terraform is the market leader. Around 60% companies are using the Terraform, and remaining 40% companies are using the other product like ARM template or Bicep. If I'm talking about the Microsoft, so Microsoft is one of the well-known, it's one of the big brand. But internally in 80% Microsoft project, what they're using Terraform. Okay, so Terraform is mainly used for the automation. Example I'll give you, suppose you have a storage account. In your storage account, you're planning to create 10,000 container. Do you think you will create a container manually? No. Using one script, just using the 3-line script, you guys can create millions of container on demand. Or suppose you're planning to create a 10,000 machine. Every day morning, you are planning to create 10,000 machine. End of the day, you want to delete all the machines automatically. So manually, you cannot create 10,000 machines. You have to use some automation platform. So Terraform is one of the automation platform which is used to manage your end-to-end infrastructure and configuration management. While if I'm talking about the DevOps is used for the CI/CD pipeline. Mainly CI/CD pipeline means whenever you are planning to check in, check out, manage the source code, you want to deploy the source code, you want to migrate the code from dev to UAT environment, UAT to production environment. In all these activity, Azure DevOps will be used, and Azure DevOps and Terraform both are tightly integrated. Another part is Terraform. If you're learning the Terraform here, uh, Terraform you guys can use in any other cloud also. For example, Terraform is used in Google Cloud. Terraform is also used in AWS. So it means as Terraform is a third party, you guys can use with any of the cloud. In case you want to use the Terraform with the private cloud, that is also possible. Now, again, I'll take a pause. If you have any question related to this learning curve, then please unmute and clear your doubt. So there's a question beginning someone raised. I think Naveen. Naveen, can you please ask your question?
No, I think you clarified it. So I was,
Okay,
for one, I thought, you will go all, even if it is not required to someone Databricks or MS Fabric, but you
mhm,
clarified it, right? Azure Mastery Program is the best foundation one, and thereafter, we can choose Azure DevOps plus Terraform or Databricks. So
correct, correct.
yes, yeah. Now, yeah, it is clarified. Yeah.
Okay, there's a question. There's another question from Gaurav.
So, sir, I'm just saying that after completing this course, we'll be able to apply for the automation engineer or cloud automation engineer roles as well.
You can, you can. So I'll tell you one thing. There are few profiles where you'll get limited number of opportunity. For example, cloud security. Salary structure is very higher compared to anything else. For example, if you are at the entry level data engineer and entry level security engineer, salary will be the same. After 5 to 6 years, their salary will be 50% higher than you guys. But problem is over there, you'll get very limited number of opportunity. While if I'm talking about the data engineering or I'm talking about the automation engineering, the number of opportunities are very high. Example, without automation, without DevOps, without Terraform, you cannot complete the data engineering. Means in 100% project, it is used. Either one is used or both are used. So nowadays, what companies are giving? Companies are giving more weightage to the candidate who is multi-skilled. That's why we always suggest everyone to be multi-skilled so that you guys can upgrade yourself. You'll be always in a demand, and you can pitch for the better type of opportunities also. Any other question if you have, guys, then please unmute and clear it out. If no, then if in case you want, you guys can capture the screenshot, or otherwise I'll upload this deck on your, Google Meet. Sorry,
Yeah.
Google Classroom.
I have one question. So, say we are in almost 17 plus years of experience. When we are looking in the market, so currently AI is it's a buzz and key topic, right? So asking in the interviews, how are using AI in your DevOps or and day-to-day operations. How we are going to integrate? Are we trying to cover anything which
Yes,
is related to this?
yes. So nowadays AI is being integrated with almost everywhere. For example, one is DevOps and Terraform. So we have another course available. If you guys are agree, then that part also will integrate here. Means everything will be controlled through the AI. We have another course available which is called the DevOps using AI. So the plan is this is the course for the DevOps and Terraform. In case all of you agree, then in that case, what we can do, we will cover it plus we'll add the using AI. Means DevOps and Terraform with the help of AI.
Okay.
So I'll give the example. Suppose what you can do, you can integrate the AI with the DevOps. Whatever the activity you're doing manually in a DevOps, with the help of prompt also you guys can control. Okay, so
Okay.
nowadays, I'm talking about the DevOps or I'm talking about the Terraform. All these are integrating or companies are integrating with the help of, or these are being controlled with the help of AI. So in case you guys are aligned or you guys want, then we can consider it.
Yeah, sure, Raja,
It
because that is, yeah, that
additional
is the, yeah.
20% extra effort we have to put, but
Okay.
we can consider it.
Okay. And as part of this, are we covering any observability tools, monitoring for the services, Azure or something?
So Azure monitoring, yes, is a part of Azure Mastery Program. Hope you
Okay.
remember, you were the part of Azure Mastery Program. Over there, we covered the service called the Azure Mastery. So
Okay.
there are two type of famous platforms are available. for the monitoring purpose. In case you're planning to go with the, if you're planning to go with the open source, then in that case, ELK you use
Okay.
ELK. Okay, and in case you're planning to go with the paid tool, then in that case, one platform is called the Grafana, and the second is Azure Monitor. So Azure Monitor was also the part of the Azure Mastery program. So here again, same thing we are not going to consider.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But basic things we'll cover how being,
Yeah,
observability
that will
tools.
be covered. See,
That will be
pipeline
covered.
monitoring, other type of monitoring will be covered. Not end-to-end monitoring service will not be covered again here. That's why here I said the best learning path is to go with the Azure Mastery. There are so many things will be covered here, which you guys have learned. If anyone who don't have any idea of the cloud services, for them it will be challenging. That's why we are recommending, guys, if you already have completed Azure Mastery, then you have two options. Either you can go with the Databricks or you can go with the DevOps and Terraform. If you already work as a Databricks engineer or MS Fabric engineer, then you guys can consider it. So guys, so here, as I told you, whatever we are going to cover, we are going to cover almost each and everything practically. So today is the first and last session where we are going to talk about these basics or foundation, or we are showing PPT going forward in future. We are not planning to use any of the PPT. We'll try to implement each and everything practically from tomorrow. So question is, what is Microsoft Azure? As most of you know, Azure is one of the cloud-based provider from Microsoft, offering 200 plus services available, including the security, data, AI, networking, storage, compute, and many others. Okay, so Azure is one of the cloud-based product from Microsoft. I'm not talking about the cloud. Cloud is just a concept. And here, Azure is Microsoft own product where you'll get the DevOps, you'll get the security, you'll get the database, you'll get the AI, networking, storage, and everything. So here, if you're applying to, if you already have completed Azure Mastery, you're applying to appear as a DevOps engineer, you can. If you're applying to work as a security engineer, you can. If you're applying to work as a AI or AI engineer or analytics engineer, you can. If you're applying to work as a network engineer, storage engineer, compute engineer, that is possible. So now question is, what is DevOps? And what if any company is not using the DevOps? So first, guys, anyone any idea what is DevOps?
It's a
Like
concept, right? DevOps is a concept, whereas multiple teams comes together and deliver the things like uh, coordination between development and operations.
Perfect. So DevOps is a set of practice, or it's a culture which will help you guys to work together with the development team and operation team. When I'm talking about the operation, it means I'm talking about the IT operation team. So normally, suppose there are two teams available. One is the operation team, and the second is dev team. Dev team, it can be software engineer or data engineer. It can be anything. So there's always confusion of wall between these two teams. Means what developers are doing, operation engineer they don't have any idea what developers are doing. Similarly, what is the requirement of the project related to infrastructure side or operator side, developers they don't care, and the impact is disaster. So if there's no transparency between these two teams, so what will happen? So plus, whenever you're planning to deploy anything, you have to deploy everything manually. And remember, if you're planning to deploy something or everything manually, there'll be higher chances for the error. And the deployment will be very slow. For example, Microsoft Azure, or let's talk about AWS, or I'm talking about the Google or any other companies, Twitter, LinkedIn. What they are making lots of changes per day. For example, in Microsoft, they have hundreds of teams available. They have hundreds of teams available. For every service, they have one team. For example, let's talk about the MS Fabric. So in MS Fabric, they have either one or multiple team in Microsoft. So how many services are available in Azure? 200 plus services are available. It means in Microsoft, in the organization, they have 200 plus teams are available. One team, at least minimum one team for one service. So if we have 200 services available, so 200 minimum teams will be available. Okay, so what they are doing, they are just focusing on particular service. Similarly, there are 200 teams available, so all these team members are making lots of changes per day. Whenever they are making all these changes, they are deploying also. It means hundreds of time, minimum 100 times deployment is done on daily basis from Microsoft on Microsoft Azure. So is it taking much time? No, it's not taking much time. Although the product is very big, but it's not taking much time. It's taking very few seconds or minutes is it taking to deploy. If they're planning to deploy it manually, there'll be huge, it will take too much time. It will take few days or hours. Plus, there'll be chances for the errors also. So what companies are doing? Companies, if any company is using or delivering the product without DevOps, so they are doing the deployment manually. If they are doing deployment manually, it will take too much time. Plus, chances for the error is very high. And development team, QA team, and operation teams are never in a sync. For example, what the changes are done by the operation engineer, developers are not aware. Similarly, what is done by developers or QA engineers, operation engineers are not aware. It means there's a confusion of all. There's no transparency. If there's no transparency in the team, so what will happen? Ultimately, there'll be disaster. And it's happening. If in any of the project, especially in cloud project, 100% cloud projects are using the DevOps and Terraform, either one or both. So if I'm talking about on-premise, so yes, in most of the cases, it is not used. So ultimately, the result is disaster. Okay, so release cycle of the week also. Whenever we're going to release anything, the release cycle will be few weeks or a month. Production incident with the no rollback. If there's a disaster on production environment, so the chances for the rollback, either there will no chances or you have to do it manually. Again, it will take time and there'll be downtime also. No visibility in the pipeline or status. What is going on? As there is no pipeline, there's no pipeline, so you cannot get the status. If something happened, it will be complained by the customer that, hey, this component or this module is working, that is not working. But here, things are very much automated. There'll be pipeline. With the help of pipeline, you guys can track what's happening. And it's works on my machine. It means it will work on your machine. While if I'm talking about, so here 80% project miss deadlines. So because of the, if any projects are, or if any client is not using DevOps, the chances for the chances will be very high that they will miss the production deadline. So average release cycle will be 6 months, and 60% time loss to manual work. So if you're doing anything manually, suppose, let's give the example. Suppose I'm telling you to create a 200 machine. So you will take few days to create a 200 machine. If you're doing manually, there'll be chances that you may do some mistake also. So it means you have to do rework. Same thing if you're planning to do with the help of Terraform or with the help of DevOps and Terraform, it will take just 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you guys can create thousands of machines. Manually, if I'm telling you to create 10,000 machines, it will take 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. You need an entire team to manage all these. But with the help of DevOps and Terraform, you guys can create and manage within few seconds or maximum 2 minutes. Now, I'll take a pause. If you have any question related to this, then please unmute and clear your doubts. Okay. So as I told you, if there's no DevOps in your project, so what will happen? There'll be always confusion of walls. Suppose there's the development team and this is the operation team. These two teams will blame to each other. Developer will say, hey, it is working in my environment. I just deployed it. So operation team will say, hey, we didn't test this. Roll back immediately. So it means there's a huge issue. I remember in past when I was in my project, I was not using or I was working on premise ecosystem. It was one of the very common issue. But nowadays we are not facing all these issues in a cloud project. Now question is, what is DevOps? So DevOps is a unified software development methodology. Again repeating, it is one of the software development methodology where the two teams will work together. Development team and operational team will work together and deliver the product. And there will not be any confusion of wall between these two teams. So what you guys can do, you guys can manage everything with the help of CI/CD pipeline. For the collaboration, we have a platform available where developer, QA, and operations engineer will collaborate. For the automation, we have the some softwares available. For example, Terraform is one of the software which is mainly used for the automation purpose. In case you're planning to create, manage, and modify anything in bulk, that is also possible. In case you want to monitor, basic type of monitoring is available. In case you want to monitor the cloud resources, for that we have another service available, which is called the Azure Monitor. So result is release go from months to days. Earlier, if it was taking few months, like 1 month, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 9 weeks to release, so now it will take just few hours or days, depending on the solutions. So guys, in DevOps, here in beginning, I told you there are two types of DevOps are available. One is the open source DevOps. So if you're planning to learn the open source DevOps, you have to learn at least 5 to 10 different tools and technologies, which is not easy. It will take too much time, and it's not easy to learn 5 to 10 different tools. But parallel to that, we have another platform available, which is called the Azure DevOps. In Azure DevOps, we have very few services available. For example, Azure Board, Azure Repository, Azure Pipeline, Test Plan, and Artifacts. So these are some of the services that you have to learn. You don't need to learn 5 different platforms, 5 different technology. Here you have to learn single service, single platform, which is called the Azure DevOps. In Azure DevOps, we have 5 services available. These are the 5 services. Now, question is, why Azure plus DevOps? Okay. What if I'm planning to go without DevOps and I'm planning to go with DevOps? So first is deployment frequency. So guys, if any company or any project you're delivering without DevOps, deployment will take time. It will take few months, depending on the type or size or architecture of the project. While same thing you guys can deliver in hours or days. And what you guys can do, hours, days, or maybe in few seconds or minutes also, you guys can do it. It means multiple time deployment is possible per day or per hour. For example, in Microsoft is doing deployment multiple time, hundreds of time deployment they are doing per day. Okay, this is one thing. It means the deployment frequency you guys can increase. In on-premise ecosystem, it will take weeks or months, while it will take minutes or hours. In one day, multiple time, 10, 20, 50, 100 times deployment is possible. Here, it was not possible. Second is lead time for the change. It was taking few weeks to month, while here it will take hours to days. Okay, so 90 to 95% time also, here also you guys can save. Mean time to recovery. So here it was taking few days to recover it. While here, in case you are planning to recover or you are planning to roll back any changes, it is possible within few minutes. Chances for the failure will be higher, very higher, if you're planning to go without DevOps, which is somewhere between 45 to 60%. While in Azure DevOps, if your architecture is designed properly, then the chances will be 0. If you are the poor architect, then chances may reach up to 15% max to max. So it means the chances for the failure will be 0 to 15% only. Team collaboration is silos and slow. Means in on-premise, without DevOps, the team members are working silos and the performance is very bad or slow. While if you're planning to work with the Azure DevOps, it will be one of the unified solution and the delivery is very fast. If I'm talking about the rollback capability, so in on-premise or in without DevOps, it was manual and risky. While in Azure DevOps, it's fully automated. So it means if you're comparing a project with and without DevOps, you'll get huge impact. Delivery time is very less. Chances for the error is very less. There'll be huge transparency, and the chances for the disaster is almost 0. Now, again, I'll take a pause. If you have any question related to this, then please unmute and clear your doubts. No. Okay. So what is DevOps? DevOps is a set of practice. Means there are some practices that you guys have to follow here. Okay. It's a culture. It's a philosophy, and there's a tool that you guys have to use, tool or services that you have to use to deliver the application and services at the high velocity. So here, guys, uh, whatever the different activities you guys have to do, you have to do some planning. This is related to project management. So if you are working in a cloud ecosystem, you guys have to use either Jira or you have to use the Azure DevOps board. So there's a service available. If you remember here, I was talking about the service is called Azure DevOps board. So this service is mainly used for the project management. So all the team members will use the Azure DevOps board. That is one of the service. Will take max to max few hours to learn it. Okay, so here planning, roadmap, sprint, all these will be designed. Whatever the code you are writing, as a software engineer, as a data engineer, or as an admin. Remember, guys, in cloud ecosystem, a person who is working as a network engineer or admin or any other type of admin, they're also writing the code. You don't need to learn any programming language. There's a platform available which is called the SCL, Hasikoff Limited Products, which is called the Terraform. The Terraform you have to learn. So in Terraform, you have to write the code, and that's very easy. If anyone who is not from IT background, they also can learn the Terraform. It is just a configuration. So what you guys can do, whatever the code you are writing, maybe as a developer, as an admin, or whatever the profile you're writing, whatever the code you are writing, all your source code will be maintained. It's the version will be maintained here. Whenever you design or compile the code or you will generate the package, that will be managed by the build. A person who is working as a tester, okay, so it will be for them. Then we have the test cases available. We have the test service available. What you have to use? You have to use the test service. The service name is Test Plan, Azure Test Plan. This is mainly for the testers. For the release pipeline, whenever you're going to release, without approval, it will not be deployed on top of the server. So suppose we have a team with the 20 members, and I'm the approver. So whenever you guys will make any changes, your request will be forwarded to me. I'll review the code. If I'll approve, then only it will be deployed on top of the server. Once it is approved, your code will move to the server or it will be deployed. And then after here, infra going forward in future, in case you're planning to make any changes in infrastructure, you're planning to make any changes in configuration, that is also the part of it, and it is called the operation. And finally, how the system is working, that will be tracked or monitored through a service which is called the Azure Monitor. Means log analytics, alert am active, you guys can configure here. So simply, guys, here you'll get the management related activities, coding related activities, packaging, testing, release planning, deployment, operation, and monitoring. So these are the some of the steps that we have to follow in next 2.5 months. Again, I'll take a pause. If you have any question, if any of you are already working, same step you guys are following in your IT ecosystem, means you're planning what we are planning to deliver, what are different modules will be delivered, how many sprints will be there, how many team members will be there, means this is called the planning phase. Once the planning is completed, then you have to start the coding part. Maybe you have to write the code in .NET, Java, PHP, Python, or you have to write the code in MS Fabric, Databricks, or somewhere else, or you guys can write the code in a Terraform. Whatever the code you are writing, all the code will be maintained somewhere in a Git repository. So, okay, and then after it, you'll build the code or you'll compile the code. Once it is compiled, it will be tested by the QA and automation engineer. After it, it will be forwarded to your manager or it will be forwarded to the approver, which is normally architect. The architect will review your source code. Once it is approved, then your source code will be automatically deployed on top of the server. Once the code is running on the server, going forward in future, a person who is working as an automation engineer, in case something is required, they will modify with the help of the script they have written in a Terraform, and they will monitor the pipelines also. So this is the end-to-end life cycle of DevOps. Okay. So guys, Let's talk about the market, some trends. So in India, close to 6 million people are working IT ecosystem. Out of that, around 5.4 million are the IT professional. When I'm saying close to 6 million people are working IT ecosystem, means there's some HR, there's security guard, and they will supporting staff. So I'm not considering them. Around 5.4 million IT professionals are working in India. Okay, and IT revenue is close to 10 trillion Indian rupees. Close to 10 trillion Indian rupees. If I'm looking for the adoption rate of the DevOps, it's a 45% plus is the adoption rate. It means the companies, if any company was not using the DevOps in 2020 or 25, so it means now going forward in future they have to use. If any company is using the cloud computing, 100% over there they have to use. The DevOps is not used only in the cloud, it is used in on-premise also. Okay, so adoption rate for the DevOps is 45% plus, and the active job opportunities are available at a time is 3.2 lakhs. So guys, you can check, you'll get at a time number of open opportunity will be at least 50 to 80,000. Let me show you. So Naukri is one of the famous, job portal in India. So let's check here. So what I'm doing, I'm going to log into naukri.com and I try to search here DevOps only. Okay, DevOps. Simple DevOps. Today, 82,000 jobs are active. Okay. Azure DevOps Engineer, Azure DevOps Consultant. So 82,000 jobs are active, guys. Okay, so here, cloud roles, cloud jobs open in first quarter of 2026 was 3.2 lakhs. And this is the analytics. If you see here, there are two lines moving. One is the Terraform and the second is Azure DevOps. So Terraform, both are growing. If you see here, Terraform 2021 in 2025, it means the growth for the Azure DevOps and Terraform is almost same. The reason is both are used in the same project. If you're the part of XYZ project, over there Terraform will be used for the automation, while DevOps is used with the deployment. Again repeating, Terraform is used for the automation and configuration management, while DevOps is used for the deployment purpose, and both will be used. In some of the project, maybe in place of the Terraform, Bicep will be used or ARM template will be used. ARM template is almost in the retirement phase, so there's a product from Microsoft which is called the Bicep. But Bicep, the problem with the Bicep is you guys can use with the Microsoft Azure only. You guys cannot use with any other cloud. In case you are looking for the multi-cloud solution, over there the preference or recommendation is to go with the Terraform. In fact, within the Microsoft, 80% Microsoft projects are based on the Terraform, not on Bicep. Only 20% projects are the based on Bicep. Again, I take a pause. If you have any question, then please unmute and clear your doubts. If you're looking for the prime locations where you'll get more number of opportunities, the number one location is the Bangalore. Number two is Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, and Delhi NCR. The other some of the locations where you'll get the number of jobs. Let's do one thing. Let's try to search. In case you want to search, you can search on any job portal. You will get huge number of opportunity in Delhi NCR. In case you're from Chennai, you will get opportunity in Chennai also. So it means it's not a location specific, as most of the IT companies or very big number of IT companies are in Bangalore. So definitely the chances will be very high that you get huge number of opportunity in Bangalore. That's why second position is Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, and Delhi NCR. So how DevOps is helping. So, guys, whenever you're planning to deliver anything, it will not take too much time. It will not take few days or weeks or month. It will deliver your solution very quickly. Within few minutes or hour, delivery of the solution is possible. While in on-premise or without DevOps, it was not possible. It will improve the security. From security point of view, also, guys, you guys or companies are using the DevSecOps. If I'm talking about the costs from cost effective, I mean cost point of view, that's a very much cost effective region here. You don't require too many people to manage everything manually. One person or very few members can manage almost everything. For example, if you're working as a data engineer, maybe in your team there are 20 members, so definitely there'll be one DevOps engineer. And if you're already working as a data engineer and you have the knowledge of the DevOps, so what company will give you? Normally, company will give the weightage, and they will not hire someone specific for the DevOps. They will tell you to manage everything, and the salary structure will be different from the normal data engineer. For example, if normal data engineer is getting 100 rupees, you will get 130, 140 rupees or 150 or maybe double. The reason is nowadays companies are preferring to go with the multi-skill professional. Means one person, if same person can manage the data engineering and DevOps, they will get the more weightage during the interview and real-time situation also. Kiran, any question? Amrut? Higher quality and reliability. So guys, whenever you're going to deliver anything, your quality of the product and reliability will be always higher side. Collaboration, there will not be any confusion of wall between operation and development team. There'll be 100% transparency. The region both will be using the same platform, and that's why to avoid the transparency, what we have done, we have executed, or we are offering the integrated program which is called the Azure DevOps and Terraform. Okay. Plus, whenever delivering the solution will be scalable solution. Again, is job growth. If you're looking for the number of opportunity, so here from 2024 to 25%, the growth in the job market was 28%. It's a very high number, guys. Here, DevOps engineer, if you're from United States, I'm not talking about the highest or minimum salary. Highest, maybe people are getting 300K, 350K, 250K. But if I'm talking about United States, the average salary in United States for the DevOps engineer is 145K. This is the average salary, guys. Maybe your experience is 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, or maybe experience is 20 year, 15 year, salary may reach 300K or maybe more than that also. So here, this is the average salary structure for the DevOps engineer in United States. So plus here, if you're multi-skill professional, the salary structure will be around 30 to 50% higher. So here the average number is 35% salary structure will be higher if you're working on your core platform with the Azure DevOps. Example, suppose Bhanu is working as a data engineer, and he has the knowledge of the Azure DevOps and Terraform also. The chances will be higher that his salary will be 30 to 50% higher compared to anyone else who is already working as a data engineer or software engineer. Okay. So this is the trend, guys. Here, cloud computing market trend and demand in 2025 to 26. So guys, you see here, this is global market. This is market size in billion. So in 2022, it was $490 billion. While in 2026, the forecasting is it will reach $760 billion. It means the market is growing. Almost 100% companies are using cloud, maybe directly or indirectly. Almost everywhere you'll get huge number of opportunity related to cloud, and whatever the platforms I'm talking here, they are the cloud-based platform. If I'm talking about the top in-demand cloud roles like the solution architect, platform engineer, cloud security engineer, FinOps, AI, ML, data engineer, data scientist, these are some of the highly demanded skill set required or roles are demanded by industry. Another is DevOps and platform engineering. How many of you know what is platform engineer? Anyone here who know what is platform engineer?
Yeah, platform is called like Windows, Linux, OSs, right? So these are called as a platforms, where software will run, right? So
Okay.
and
So I think
storage, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Suppose you're the part of TCS. In TCS, suppose total there are 300 cloud-based projects are running, or maybe 1,000 projects are running. In every project, there will be at least one platform engineer. A platform engineer, normally they are from infrastructure background. Again, repeating, normally a platform engineer, they are from infrastructure background, infrastructure, networking, or from operation background. But they have the idea of the development, data engineering, others also. That's why there are lots of operation engineers or there are lots of admin who are they doing, they are enrolling for the data engineering, they are enrolling for the other courses also. Why they are enrolling? The region in real time situation, they have to collaborate or they have to work with the data engineers or software engineers. So they are not the person, he or she is not the person who is going to write the code, but they have to understand how the system is working. Means they will provide the platform for you guys. If they cannot understand, if they don't understand all the data related services or AI related services, they cannot give you the better platform. So nowadays, a platform engineer, if I'm talking in cloud, so a person who is working the platform engineer, normally they are from infrastructure background, but they have the idea of almost everything. Mean they have the idea of development services, they have the idea of the data engineering services, AI, and other services also. So guys, DevOps and platform engineering. So if you see here, this is the line for the DevOps engineer. This is for the platform engineer. And so if you see here, both are growing. Both are growing. You see here, this is the growth. It means earlier like in 2022, for the platform engineer, suppose there was a 40 roles. So in nowadays in 2026, it will be somewhere 100. Okay. If you're looking for the DevOps engineer, so roles are higher. Remember, if you're working as only if you're working as a platform engineer, maybe in 2026 at a time there'll be 100 or maybe 170, 160 opportunities. But if you're working as a platform engineer with the DevOps engineering, the chances will be very high. Means if you have 160 opportunities available, to maybe 190 opportunity will be available in combination with the platform engineering. So means if you're working as a platform engineer, yes, you'll get opportunity. But if you have platform engineer plus DevOps engineer, then in that case, the number of opportunities is quite higher compared to anyone else. Now, question is who can work as a DevOps engineer? If you're already working on the Azure services, yes, you can directly go with the DevOps. If you're working as a DevOps, if you're already working as a data engineer, software engineer, admin, or architect, anyone can enroll for this one. But remember, one thing is at least basic knowledge of Azure services is required. If you don't have the basic knowledge of the Azure services, then after 3 to 5 sessions, things will bounce. Remember, whatever the delivery will be, whatever we will deliver, maybe first few sessions is okay, but after it will bounce. That's why in beginning, in the first slide, I was showing guys, if you're planning to work as a data engineer, if you're planning to work as a DevOps engineer, so at least basic knowledge of your services are required. Now again, I'll take a pause. If you have any question related to your skill set, or if you have any question related to the content so far I have covered, then please unmute and clear your doubts. Amrut, Gaurav, Kiran.
No question, sir, as of now.
Okay. So these are some of the on-demanded or highly demanded skill set required by industry. is related to, like, one is the Kubernetes and GitOps, Terraform, observability, FinOps, CI/CD automation, platform as a product, AI ops, or ML ops. Another is, since beginning I was telling guys, multi-skill. So in 2025-26, companies are giving more weightage to the professionals who are multi-skill. I'll give the example. In last 1.5 year, I think 1.5 year back, there was an announcement by TCS that around 12,000 people will be laid off from TCS. But the reality is more than 1 lakh candidate layoff. The number is more than 1,14,000. Okay, so if you check the pattern, one pattern is very common. The people who are laid off, they are working on the single skill set. For example, X person name is Ram. Ram is working on SQL. He's working or as a SQL developer. If he don't have the project, so the chances will be very high for the layoff. The same time, there's another person who is working on the cloud or who can work on the cloud, SQL and Databricks. The chances will be very high that very quickly, within few days or week, he will get the new opportunity. So he will not be laid off. And the same, whatever I'm telling, the same happen in TCS. So TCS, as per the policy of the TCS, if you don't have any project or you are not on a project or you are on bench since last 35 days, then by default you'll be out from organization. Okay, so it happened with almost everyone who is working on the single skill set. For example, I'm working on .NET. I'm .NET developer. If there's no project related to .NET, so what will happen? I'll be laid off. But same time, if I'm working on the .NET, I'm good in DevOps, I'm good in data engineering. So what will happen? Very quickly, maybe within 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days, you'll get a new opportunity within the organization. So the lots of people who released from during that period, they released from the project, but they haven't laid off. The region, the skill set. So guys, in 2025 and 26, the people are in a demand, or people going forward in future, the people will be demand if they're multi-skill. Okay, so multi-skill job demands. So if you see here, cloud plus AI ML, DevOps plus security, cloud plus DevOps, data plus DevOps, full stack developer plus cloud, and other multi-skill. So it means if you are in a combination, if your skill set is in a combination, for example, I'm working on MS Fabric, I'm working on Databricks. Same time, if you have the knowledge of the DevOps, you will get weightage. Your salary structure will be very high. And if there's a situation within the organization, the chances will be very less that you'll be laid off. Or if somehow it is, somehow, suppose there is no project within the organization, or you are working in a small company and this company is planning to shut down the business, then in that case also the chances will be very high that very quickly you'll get opportunity in new organization. So it means if you have the skill, you'll be able to survive in existing company. If not, if somehow there's some issue, then the chance will be very high that very quickly you'll get the opportunity outside the organization also. So earlier, like 10 to 15 years ago, people were getting more weightage if you're expert. But nowadays, there's one expert. That is AI. Okay, you cannot rely 100% on AI, but yes, try to make it your buddy. If you're proceeding or if you're moving with this type of approach, the chances will be very high that you will remain in a market. But remember, you have to be multi-skilled. So I'll suggest all of you to grow, or all of you to be multi-skilled, so that very easily you can survive. Don't rely on single skill set. I'm not telling .NET is good or bad, or Databricks is good or bad. Whatever the tools and technologies are available in the market, it's a good. That's why it's still in industry. But in your case, I'll suggest you guys to upgrade yourself and appear as a multi-skill professional. If you're planning to proceed with this type of approach, so chances will be very high that your salary structure will be always 30 to 50% higher compared to anyone else. Internally, within and outside the organization, you'll be always in demand. If you are not billable, within few days, you'll get opportunity either within the organization or outside the organization. Again, I'll take a pause. If you have any question, then please, any question, any opinion, please unmute and ask the question.
Yeah,
Amrut?
Araj, this is Naveen. I have one, maybe silly or whatever it is, no, in an entire course, does it required any coding, anything that required?
Coding is not required. See, there are two things. One is the coding, second is the configuration.
Okay.
Coding means programming, knowledge of the programming language like Java, Python, PHP, C, C++. These are the programming language. Configuration means there'll be some Excel file, or there may be some not Excel, XML file or JSON file. You
Hmm.
have to customize it. For
Okay.
example, let me show you. Mm, Let me use ChatGPT. Okay, this is script.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is not programming. This
some
is not a project. It's just a
others,
scripting.
others, somebody's. We are getting huge disturbance from somebody's background.
Maybe myself. Yeah.
Yeah, can you, Naveen? Can you please do everybody else a favor and like be on mute, or ask your people in the background to, because it disturbs everybody else.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, guys, there's a difference in programming language and scripting language. For example, programming language is slightly difficult. At least after certain age, it will be definitely difficult. But if I'm talking about the scripting, anyone can learn the scripting. For example, a person who is working as an accountant, a person who is working as a CA, they're also working on the scripting part. They're not a developer, they're not software engineer, but they can. So if accountant or if finance guys can write the code, you also can. And you know, nowadays is the era of AI. So you don't need to write everything. You should understand each and everything. And what you can do in case you want to get the help, just get the help of AI and complete the code. So this is not a programming language. This is just a scripting platform. So yes, in case you're applying to work as a data engineer, you're applying to work as an automation engineer, DevOps engineer, or AI engineer, you need, I mean, you don't need to write the C, C++, .NET or Java type of code, but yes, basic coding knowledge is required. This is not a programming language, this is just a scripting. So in Azure DevOps and Terraform, yes, basic scripting is required like this. And it's a, it's just a uh, JSON type of scripting. For example, this is comment. This is the comment. Whatever you want to comment here, you can. And what I'm doing, this is just like this is my provider. The provider will be HashiCorp. And what I'm doing, I'm going to use the Azure ARM template. The version will be 4.0. Okay. Similarly, suppose I'm planning to create a resource group. So resource name is Azure Resource Group. Name of the resource group will be RG Terraform Demo. And this resource group I'm going to create in Central India. Okay. Suppose I'm going to create a storage account. Storage account is one of the PaaS-based service. So this is the script. The resource I'm going to create is Azure RM storage account. And name of the storage account will be this resource group. This will be plugged with the resource group name is this. Location will be this. And a tier will be account tier will be standard and redundancy type will be LRS. This is not a programming language. You don't need to write very complex logic or algorithms. You have to configure it. For this, you have to write little bit code, not too much. And remember, you have to write code once and use for several months or year. Okay, on daily basis, you don't need to write too much code. It is one-time activity. For example, for first project, you have completed your code. Same code or similar type of code you can reuse in multiple new projects also. But yes, one time effort you have to put.
Yeah, got it, got it. Now, why I asked this question is, my, the being a senior role. So currently, I'm in manager role. So, my target is, manage the DevOps teams, or to know the solution architect kind of, to know how DevOps works,
Hmm.
that kind of
So
role I'm expecting.
I'll tell you one thing. If anyone who is learning the Azure services, coding is not required.
Okay.
One thing I'm training, you were the part, I remember you were the part of, I think, the Naveen Karumaji, I think you were the part of Azure Mastery program. So in Azure Mastery, I'm not completing anything. I'm not covering or I'm not covering the implementation with the help of any scripting or programming language. But yes, two dedicated session I'm delivering where I'm covering everything with the help of PowerShell. So why I'm covering manually the region? If you don't have the knowledge of the Azure services property data directly, you cannot work on the automation. So automation is not possible if you don't have the knowledge of Azure services. So Azure services are the foundation for everything. Anyone who is from IT background or non-IT background, very easily you can work on automation as an automation engineer, as a DevOps engineer. It will be very easy if you already have learned the Azure services.
Got it, Araj. Yeah. You made it very simple. Yeah. Very clear.
And one more thing. Nowadays, industry is not looking for the expert.
Yeah.
Industry is looking for the multi-skill professional. For example, uh, 20 years ago, it was highly. I mean, the people who are very much experienced in certain platform or technology, they were highly in demand. But nowadays, if you're working on C only, if you can work on the C only, you can work on the Java. It's risky. The reason, if there's no project on Java in your organization, then you have to look outside. I mean, you have to find an opportunity outside the organization. But same time, if you're multi-skill, maybe a average, very quickly you'll get opportunity within the organization. So it's not a time for the expert. It's time for the multi-skill professionals. Again, if you have any question, Kiran, Nitin, Vivek, any question, then guys, please unmute and clear your doubts.
No, actually, he asked about the coding. So,
Okay.
mm.
Okay.
I have a fun question. Are there?
Yes.
But that is not for you at all. I see a fun person here. His name is Amrita.
Hi, sir.
Amrita from United States.
Hi, sir.
I know you will see the moment I take his name, he starts smiling. See, he's such a fun person. So Amrita is a very talented person from India, and he's currently in the US and on a visit, and he's already learned, you know, data breaks and fabrics, and he's done some certifications. He has got a lot of experience as well. But on his own, I want to especially bring up this case for a reason. On his own, he decided when he watched the Azure DevOps and all, he decided to pursue the Azure DevOps Terraform type of a course, and he texted me also. So, Amruta, you, you know, can you share with us, or can you share with the audience also, your perspective on why you decide to join this? What I mean, you must have seen something in the industries, you must have seen something in the course, and you must have seen something in the various interviews you took, or something. So I want to learn that what you discovered, what all things prompted you, because you're already a qualified person, you're already seeing already. So because your perspective may help many people. If
Sir,
somebody might get inspired, somebody
like
might
here,
learn something
many
new.
are already professionals, sir. I need not explain to them, but my experience is like I have strong. First point is I have strong, hope on this COA group, which I already have done. My courses are going on. I'm currently Databricks.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, that is the first point. So then, obviously, I thought I have many courses in Udemy and all. Then I thought, okay, this is going to be another milestone to in my resume. And second point is, it's like everywhere nowadays the Terraform and DevOps is major. If you go for any end-to-end life cycle, like one point of time they'll expect how you deploy things, how you do end-to-end CI/CD.
Correct. And
Like,
that is exactly the point Aradhya is also had also made. He had made it before in other sessions and even in this
so
session.
some people went and
Ah,
asked, "Can you write a small piece of code? How do you?"
exactly. Because so many people across the board, and Aradhya has mentioned that many people across the board. So suppose some people have not done Azure services. It is not mandatory for everybody to do it, but then eventually they realize the moment, see, they may get a data engineer job, they may get a fabric engineer job, they may get a snowflake engineer job, all those different kind of jobs they'll get and they'll making money. But as you grow into the role, you learn a little bit about the domain, you learn a little bit about the market, you learn a little about salaries, how I can make everybody wants to make money, right? How do I make more money? How do I get more reputation? How can my bosses promote me? How will they like me? Like I heard somebody saying just now, okay, ठीक है, I'm doing XYZ, I'm earning decently well, but I want to grow into the role. So the moment you talk about growing into the role, the only way it is possible is what I mean. In other words, you're basically saying, I want more responsibility, I want more money, I want more reputation. So the market will ask you, okay, okay, my friend, what extra skill you have? So that's why Aradhya keeps talking about multi-skilling, and I also totally believe in it. Um, so Azure services,
It's required, sir. Nowadays, when
yeah,
multi is required, even though
ah,
I worked on Databricks, now their
correct.
focus mainly on DevOps and
Ah, people will ask, okay, you are a good engineer or this earning good money. Now, if yes, we have a DevOps team. First of all, they let you know. Yes, we have a DevOps team. Yes, we have this. But the engineer that makes a difference in the market is, hey, wow, I know DevOps. Then they will be like, they'll be paying extra attention. This guy knows. So I can use. So see, a business organization will always think in a different way. Suppose I'm a business organization. I'll think, okay, array, if I hire this one person, if I hire two people, I have to give them 100,000 plus 100,000, right? Or 100 plus 8, whatever. Now I think, oh, if I give one person 160, I will save money. See, I'm a business, right? I want to do business. So I will say I'll give him 180. It's a win-win situation. It saves me money and it saves it makes the other person happy also. Very simple reason. There's no that's how the things work, right? So which is why I strongly suggest, strongly, whether you do this first, that first, eventually you will realize. Some people realize it straightforward. When we tell them, do this foundation, do this, they'll follow the path. And those people kind of, for example, we have a person who has already become a data architect in US. Her name is Namrata, right? There are many people like this. I don't want to give every single example. So there are some simple people, you tell them, do X plus Y plus Z, it will equal this. They follow the formula and they are all successful. People have become lead engineer, this engineer, cloud data engineer. And there are some people who first go left, then they go right, then they go roundabout, then they go some other path, then they take a break, then they will roam around the entire circle to to realize what we were telling was true from day one. So then they say, sir, I want to cover my gaps. Okay, if you want to go cover the gaps, eventually they join the class, whether this way or that way. See, like they saying for fun, you can catch your nose directly, or you can, you know, catch it in a different way, roundabout way. So, which is why Aradhya has made this simple diagram for people to say. There is only one part in the diagram about Databricks. It is not, many people see the Databricks part and just think that it is code heavy. No, no. It is not code heavy. It is code centric, I'll say. Code centric. There's a difference which will, this is not a database task, so I don't want to talk about it. So, because both have UI, Databricks also has a UI, Fabric also has a UI. Fabric UI is currently much better and its adoption is much better and it's a part of Microsoft platform. But Azure services, guys, as I said in my um, uh, when we had a career session, Ardha had I st- Ardha had started. I clearly stated compute, networking, security, storage, DevOps is there in almost every single company. You go to Europe, you go to Germany, you do full time work, you do remote work. So Ardha, when he was looking at Naukri, he talked about what are the Indian opportunities. Today you'll be surprised to know that many companies, many GCCs, many companies are placing the opportunities where you can be remote in India, and there are methods and ways that you can start applying for jobs in in abroad also. So your market, when you do this multi-skill services, Radhya, the market is not limited to only your city or only a region or only your country. It is the market suddenly opens up for you. So if you don't get one, you'll get the other one. You'll go, and there are, let's say there are 10,000 companies, right? 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 companies are there. How many jobs do you need at one given time? How many jobs do you need? One only, no? How many interviews can you take per day? Any number. It depends on you. It depends on you. You can take one interview in the morning. Doesn't tell you take one in the afternoon. Doesn't tell you take one in the evening. Point is, when will opportunities open up? When the opportunities will open up. So we can talk about Terraform, and somebody was looking at the script. I was going to laugh literally, and somebody said, "Sir, will there be coding, sir?" Arey Baba, like Aradhya stated clearly, there's a difference between configuration, writing one-time thing. So he explained it. Good. But on the top of it, I have to say, suppose today I am making X lakhs of rupees, right? Now I want to make X plus 3, X plus 5, or 2X, or 3X. I want to make that money. Everybody has a dream to make more than what he's currently doing, right? Somebody is making 3 lakhs, wants to earn 6 lakhs. Somebody is making 6, wants to earn 12. Somebody is making 12, wants to earn 20. Somebody is making 20. He hears about somebody else making 50. So it's a moving target all the time. So if somebody says, "Ki, Arey, the only issue with you is if you knew this configuration script, that will cover your gaps. And that will you can have this strategy and achieve your goal. What should you do? Learn it or not learn it? And even the good news is it doesn't have coding. But even if it had coding, suppose there were two chapters. Suppose Aradhya was teaching two chapters that were only coding, hardcore coding, Python, Java, C++, whatever else, Golang, whatever. Like suppose we had two chapters which had coding. If and I knew if I do those two chapters, whether I like it or not, like a medicine, if I take those chapters, be comfortable with it, it will be hard maybe initially. If I did that, I can go from 20 to 50. Should I do it or not do it? You only tell me. Maybe I can ignore it one time. Maybe I can ignore it second time. Maybe I can ignore DevOps all my life. Maybe I can ignore Terraform all my life. Maybe I can ignore everything that Ardha said. Next, many of the people, every year I have noticed this, and I've been noticing for a long time. Every 3 months, people come back to Radha and say, "Sir, you were right. Sir, yeah, if I would have learned it, I would have been able to answer all these questions." I've been seeing it so much happening so much that I don't even I'm not even. I mean, None of the questions you guys asked, whether it was a demo or none, not even one question was different from whatever the batches usually ask us. So I join these sessions always to figure out, is there anybody in the group? And I know Ammu, I know many other people here. I always look at what, like for example, if I would try to ask a different question. For example, I'll let me ask Aradhya a question right in front of you. Okay. So I'll say, Aradhya, gee, suppose I did this course. So, and forget the course. Suppose my job is to acquire knowledge, whether you call it a course, module, program, I don't care. Right? My thing is, when I learn these skills that you are so beautifully, you have great notes, quizzes. Now, Adaji, one of the reasons I will tell Aradhya, and that's why Ammu is also knowing this, because our previous association with them. The point I'm trying to make is, what I will ask Aradhya, I can easily learn from YouTube. I can go buy a book on Terraform, learn some few things here and there. Isn't it easy for me? I can go anywhere and learn anything. Why, Aradhya? That is always the question that I should ask myself first. Because he speaks good English and Hindi? No. Because he is Microsoft? No. He has worked on this with decades of experience. When such a person is teaching, that person who has lived through many battles, lived through battles from last so many years, he can make 6 months, 1 year, 15 years of education crystallize into, key learnings and tips. Right? When I talk about a finance course, why do we say, you know, everybody wants to read a book on Warren Buffett? Why? He's old, he's an oldie guy. Why should I listen to him? But these people have some years of wisdom behind them. We go to conferences, we go to people like Aradhya because these people have years of life experience. Course I can do from anywhere, but it will never ever can be the same. It will never be the same because what I will not get is Aradhya. So when I trust him and he says, do X plus Y plus Z, and here is how it be taught, I'm here to listen to his experience. And many of you are not, well, you are only beginning, so it's okay. But slowly, gradually, once you learn a topic and Aradhya says, I'm going to stop here. Does anybody have any questions? And most 90% people I see are mute, as if they never got any tongues. And the remaining people want to say, no, sir, everything is all fine. Are Baba, that is your opportunity. If Aradhya gave me the opportunity, I will ask, so Aradhya when a new person goes to the industry and he starts working, and I'm new, I haven't acquired that skill yet, but can you share top two challenges that such a resource faces when he has the skill, he goes to the industry. What are the tips that as a mentor you provide to such guys to overcome those? So that is your learning, no? That learning is not in the books. It's not on YouTube. It's not there outside anywhere. It can be only given by a person like, you know, Aradhya, who has years of experience doing it the wrong way. Maybe I always ask some. I love people who ask me, "Hey, when you were 30 years back, when you just started a career, can you talk about one or two lessons learned?" So nobody today asked Aradhya, you have helped so many students globally. Can you tell us couple stories where a student improved on X skill or Y skill, or improved in this job or that job? because they learned better, because they learned DevOps. Nobody asks this question. So I'm just leaving you right there. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to leave you there with this thought in your mind as to how you should ask questions to gather, because the guru always gives these 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 how do you call, you know, these pearls. It is your job to collect these pearls, extract more and more of the out of the guru. All right, back to Adya.
Okay, thank you, Arun. Yes, Banu.
Sir, my questions to Arun sir. Yeah, I just want to move abroad, means looking to move abroad. Is there any opportunity for me? Like I have just done Azure Mastery program.
Yes, we can have a separate conversation on it one on one. And I mean, see, it's not an easy one line answer. There are ways, there are steps that one must follow, and it takes a little time. It takes certain efforts. So I will discuss this. I'll give you certain pointers. I will perhaps share with you maybe a video on how X person did it or Y person is doing it, so that you first will get some conceptual understanding about what it takes. Right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. All right.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, as of now, we were talking about the Azure DevOps. Now, what about the Terraform? So, Terraform is the one of the platform which is mainly used for the automation. This is also called the infrastructure as a code. Means entire cloud infrastructure you guys can manage through the code. For the coding or for the scripting, these are the platform you guys can use. The number one is the Terraform. Terraform is the market leader. It's a 50%, close to 50% market is uh, occupied by the Terraform, and remaining 50% there are several providers are available like ARM template, Bicep, Ansible, Plummy, CloudFormation. So the other several other. But remember, Terraform is the market leader. The best part with the Terraform is you guys can use the Terraform in Azure project. You guys can use the same in Google or AWS also. So same platform will be used for multi-cloud. Second is the Bicep. So earlier there was a product available from Microsoft is ARM template, but nowadays ARM template is almost under retirement phase. The replacement of the ARM template is available in the market, which is called the Bicep. So here let's talk about the Terraform. So Terraform is listed 78% of the DevOps job description. So if there's a job, posted on any of the job profile related to the DevOps, maybe open source DevOps or Azure DevOps. In 78% cases, you will get over there. The market share is 48%. Why say here? Here is about the cloud infrastructure. While here, it is not used in cloud, it is used in on-premise or multi-cloud also. Infrastructure as a code adoption in India is growing with the 67%. Means between 2020 to 2025, the growth is 67%. If the growth adoption rate is 67%, it means in the similar fashion you will get, or in a similar way there'll be growth in the job opportunities also. It means in between 2023 to 25%, 23 to 25, 77% changes are in the jobs role. HashiCorp is not a Microsoft product, it's a third party. The company name is HashiCorp Limited. So it's a HashiCorp product. HashiCorp Terraform community. So there are 2 lakhs community developers are working. Means in case you want to get any support from the committee, so the Terraform is running a committee. From the committee also you'll get the support. So it's a multi-cloud demand driving Terraform. So it's not used only for the Microsoft Azure. Today you're working Microsoft project, maybe after 1 year, suppose you're the part of AWS project. So over there also you guys can use the same. And remember, this is used almost all the type of project, whether it's a telecommunication related project, SaaS related project, data engineering related project, finance related project, e-commerce related project, or something else. In almost all the cases, it will be used. Yes, Arun.
So there are many, you know, data engineers, and there are a couple of different roles I don't want to talk about. The point is, they came and they said, "Sir, I'm confused." I said, "Why?" So they said, "Sir, I'm looking at all these requirements, must have, nice to have. So must have, I had most of the requirements, but they said preferred qualification, Terraform." So he was asking, "Sir, I don't understand. I know what Terraform is, HashiCorp and all, but I have never been able to connect how why it is so good. Why the 60% market or X% market is going after Terraform." So what answer can I carry back for such an individual who says
Okay.
why they are asking it as a preferred qualification?
Mhm.
So we need your answer, Arja.
Okay.
What answer can I take to an
So
engineer who
there
says
there are
why
multiple.
they ask for Terraform in preferred qualification?
So one is the multi-cloud support. So it means you have to learn the Terraform. The same you guys can use with the Kubernetes, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, GitHub, or somewhere else you guys can use. Means learn one thing and reuse it at multiple locations.
Fantastic. Perfect.
This is
Yeah.
one reason. This is called the multi-cloud support. The second is this is the infrastructure code. Infrastructure as a code. Instead of the manually creating the resources in the portal, in case you're planning to create all and manage all the resources in bulk, so you just write a few lines of script and manage all the resources in single go. The
Fantastic.
another is the, uh, it's working extremely well with the Azure. It means Azure and Azure DevOps. So it means it's already integrated with the Microsoft Azure. So if you're already working on the Azure services or you're working at the DevOps engineer, for you it will be very easy to learn as well as the manage it. Plus, there's a huge list of the ecosystems are available. Like Terraform has provided for the thousands of technologies. In case you want to integrate with those platforms, it's possible. So apart from it, there's so many advantages. Plus, scripting is very easy. It's not a programming language. This is just a scripting platform. So if anyone who is from IT background means you or non-IT background, for example, if anyone is BA, BSc, BCom, they also can write the code. It is region. This is just a configuration. And nowadays the system is very intelligent. If you are not following the best practices or you are doing some mistake, the system will tell you what mistake you have done and where. The system is very smart. Any other question from anyone, guys? Then please unmute and clear your doubts. So, guys, if in beginning I told you there are so many, platforms and tools are available. So, if I'm talking about the open source DevOps, in open source DevOps we have the GitLab, Bitbucket, and many more. Similarly, if for the CI/CD pipeline, Jenkins, GitHub Action, GitLab, Circle CI, tokens, and many more. A containerization, multiple tools you have to learn. Similarly, orchestration also we have to learn multiple tools. So if anyone who is from open source DevOps background, so these are the some of the tools or technology you guys have to learn. If you see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 30 means 30 40 platforms are available. At least you have to learn 8 to 10 tools and technology. But here in Azure DevOps, you don't need. Everything is integrated in one platform, which is called the Azure DevOps. So you see here in open source DevOps, suppose for you're planning to maintain the artifacts. So either you guys can use the Artifactory, Nexus, Quay, Harbor. For the orchestration, Kubernetes, K3, OpenShift, Aranser. For monitoring, these are some platforms available. For the security, these are platforms available. While in Azure Cloud Computing, everything is integrated internally. So you no need to learn, you no need to enroll for 10 different courses. Just enroll for Azure DevOps and Terraform and be expert. That's why nowadays companies are preferring to go with the Azure DevOps region. For them, it is very easy to find or outsource the, to hire the employees, to manage, to train the employees. Earlier, the
Arthur,
problem.
I
Yeah.
have one practical question, if you don't mind. So, when a person becomes like an Azure DevOps per Terraform engineer, and let's say it is first month or second month or maybe third month, 3 months he has stayed in an organization. Can you describe the question that they ask in the interviews very commonly is, uh, what is a typical day or a typical week like? मतलब उसका एक दिन में what all work he does, or in 1 week what are the type of activities he can be asked to do on in the real job? That's an interview question they ask.
So I'll give some idea, guys. So just think the role of a DevOps engineer. So whenever your project is about to start, the first few week, maybe 2 week, 3 week, a DevOps engineer will manage or prepare everything. Once everything is prepared, then as a developer, you have to start your coding part. Whenever your code will ready or by time by time, so for suppose every 3 days or 5 days you're planning to check in the source code, then again he will come the picture. He will help you to check in the code. Whenever you're planning to move the code from one environment to other environment, then again he will come. It means around 10 to 20% part. I mean, he will be engaged in your project only for 10 to 20 project, but your organization is paying 100% salary. So what companies are considering nowadays? They are considering, hey, do one thing, just hire one person who is working as a DevOps engineer as well as the data engineer, and just pay 50% higher salary. Still, we are saving 50%. Suppose example I'll give you. Suppose the salary of one of the DevOps engineer 40 lakhs, and you're working as a data engineer, your salary is also 40 lakhs. The company will give you 60 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 55 lakhs, or 60 lakhs they will give you. Still, they are saving 20 to 25 lakhs. So people are, if anyone who are good in all these services, they are getting more weightage compared to normal engineers. There's a question from Gaurav. Gaurav, you can ask your question.
Sir, if the DevOps team manages all the infrastructure, so why should a data engineer learn Terraform?
Very good. So same. So tell me one thing. If a DevOps engineer, suppose in your team there are total 10 developers, and one DevOps engineer, right? As a DevOps engineer, who will move the code from one environment to other environment? As a data engineer, just think, you are working as a data engineer. You are already working as a data engineer. So who is moving your code from one to another environment? From development to UAT to production. You are a DevOps engineer.
Me, sir.
How?
So suppose there are 10 developers and the DevOps engineer handling all your deployment between your environment. So that is I think my responsibility. You have to define the
It
process.
is your responsibility. But tell me, practically, are you moving the code from one to another environment manually?
No.
Correct. So it means ideally your responsibility, but you are not doing. You are relying on someone else who is DevOps engineer. So unnecessary DevOps engineer is not contributing, 100%. But still companies are paying 100% salary. So what companies are preferring? Companies are preferring do one thing, just hire one data engineer who has the idea of the DevOps also. He will manage everything. With this type of approach, companies are 50%.
So Gaurav, the other reason is, if I'm a data engineer and I know DevOps principles and I know even 50% of DevOps, the main important things I know in DevOps, if I've done some sort of I've learned DevOps, will I not be able to partner better with the DevOps team if there is a DevOps team that exists in the organization very formally? What about small and medium consulting teams? Let's say there is a small, medium-sized consulting organization. Let's say they are together 300 people or 50 people, 100 people, right? They are serving multiple clients. So sometimes that consulting company cannot keep on hiring people. They distribute among people. So your value increases in even in the mid-sized consulting organizations, because you are saying that, hey, I'm a data engineer, but I can not only do the work, I can take off some load from the that team. I will be able to partner very effectively with the DevOps team, because I know what they do. We can cut down some time, total time together. So it's all about collaboration. Why do you think Azure is Microsoft and Databricks is Databricks? Why do you think these big companies they are partners? Why do you think Microsoft partner with Databricks, even though they have their own fabric? It's because today's today's environment is all about collaboration, partnering, being effective together. How can you be effective together? If you know both, you'll be valuable. Simple.
So one thing, if you're working as a data engineer, you can develop the data pipeline. But if you know data engineering plus DevOps, so you can develop the data pipeline, you can build, deploy, automate, and operate enterprise level of the data platform. Remember, so tell me one thing: if there's a company looking for the data engineers, enterprise level of the data platform engineer, they'll prefer only data engineer or data engineer plus DevOps. Gaurav? So let's do one thing. Let's search data engineering.
So
Are
Arvind sir,
there
I think the one you have given the explanation, I think this is especially useful in a small or medium sized consulting companies.
No.
not just no, actually, not just that. Arthur and I both said no together. The reason is the other reason. Let's say there's a bigger organization. What happens is, okay, um, uh, I require. See, if I'm a hiring manager and I want to hire top-notch guys, I will pay
Mhm.
them. I am a big company. I'm willing to pay them more than a small consulting company does, and I can give them better mini projects, right? More than a small company. Now the issue is, let's say I want to hire 5 people, right? I want to hire 5 people, but if I'm willing to pay them, I need top notch. I need better people, right? So I will be very happy if that person says, I'll ask him 5 questions on data engineering, 2 questions here and there on something, but I'll ask him some questions. You'll be surprised, Gaurav, truly surprised. These days, data engineers are being asked questions. Not these days, from last 2 years, they're being asked questions on, and they're asking more. They suddenly say, "Hey, have you done anything on disaster recovery?" So data engineers surprised. Why am I being asked disaster recovery when there is a BCP team available in the? Because, Arey Baba, you are not working in isolation, na? You are going to eventually work with X team, Y team. Are you the right fit for my organization? Do you know how to collaborate and work with people? If you don't understand, because any role in IT does not work on an island. You have to collaborate effectively together. So I will ask question on disaster recovery, DevOps. Every data engineering interview these days, they almost, it's an unwritten rule that DevOps is almost mandatory. It is not no longer a preferred thing. It is almost, whether you like it or not. If they will pay you money, they'll ask question on DevOps. That's why I had this fun with Amrita, because he also realized, कि हाँ, you know, yes, there are good opportunities that he is getting, but there are gaps. There are gaps in that opportunities. So if I have that multi-skill thing, it will help him one way or the other, because
Mm.
I'll be conscious about when I'm doing my work on data engineering, whether in Fabric or Databricks, I am conscious about environments. I am conscious about dev, I'm conscious about UAT, I'm conscious about production, I'm conscious about other environments. So that consciousness about the environments, the ability to interact effectively, those things matter to big organizations also, not just small organizations.
So I'll give the example. Suppose you're working as a data engineer. You have to implement the security. Do you think you, as a data engineer, you can implement the security? Answer is no, you cannot. In that case, you have to call someone, or your company will hire someone to implement the security. But same time, if you're working as a DevOps engineer, you can implement the security also. So if you see, this is one of the job related to data engineer. The 50% skill they are asking related to data engineering, and remaining 50% related to DevOps and related to automation. It means in data engineering, what they're demanding data engineering, data platform plus automation services. Both are required. That's why in beginning, you see here, that's why in beginning, what I was telling, nowadays, DevOps is not only for the infrastructure engineer. DevOps is for the software engineer, for the data engineer, or for anyone else also. If you're working as an admin, if you're working as an AI engineer, if you're writing the code, then yes, it is mandatory.
Gaurav, after every year, every year some new title comes out. And you will see a lot of new titles coming out. Okay. Do you want a real life example, Gaurav? Or everybody? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes, you can give
Yes, sir.
for the better
Ah,
understanding.
fantastic. Have you heard the word forward deployment engineer these days, FDE?
No.
You can research it. You can go Google and say what is a forward deployment engineer. This is a new role that has come out. Everybody is paying a lot of money for it, right? And in India, there are a couple institutes that are teaching it, and they are doing a horrible scam job. But in reality, what this new role is, it's out there, and people are talking about it. It is nothing but a combo of skills. You can package and name it anything. You can call it Ashwarya Employment Engineer. You can call it whatever you want to give a name. Amitabh Bachchan Employment Engineer. It is a new title. It is a new thing, but it's like an old bottle and new wine. All that they require is you need to have cloud infrastructure for services. You need to understand containers, Docker, Azure fundamentals. You need to know networking. You need to know CI/CD. You need to know observability. Of course, if you need to know a little bit SQL, a little bit this, a little bit that. So they have picked up the skills from different domains, and majority of those skills are from Azure services, and some of them are from data engineering. So you take all these skills and you add a little bit masala of AI on the top of it, and then you learn a little bit of things like scalability, reliability from some system design perspective, which other teachers in Azure Mastery, and then you you understand how to talk to customer. You are customer facing, so they will call it fancy names. Customer facing engineering. It is nothing but you discover basic requirements, you participate in architecture discussions, you are communicating technical and non-technical requirements to stakeholders. So what does it mean? They have combined certain skills, they have put a new title onto it. But there is no way somebody can get into that role and earn big money without the fundamentals of what Radha is already talking about. Uh, Through Azure services, through Azure DevOps and Terraform and all this stuff. So think of today as skills economy. These skills that Radha is teaching. That's why if Radha did not call it Azure Mastery, if he called it Azure Gurukul, if he called it something, it would have meant the same thing. You need to learn certain skills today to survive regardless of whatever titles and whatever roles come out tomorrow, because the fundamentals are not going to change.
Right.
Back to
Very
Adya.
good. So I'm sharing my screen. You see here, this is in India for the FDE. Entry level salary is 18 to 28 lakhs. This is the entry level. Mid level 30 to 50 lakhs. Senior level 50 to 80 lakhs. Top level 60 lakhs to 1 CR plus. And
Exactly. But
what they
at
are
the end of the
considering
day, the point is at the end of the day, it's like multiple skills combined together and they have a new title. That's
so
all.
what FDE, forward deployment engineer, it means software engineering, cloud data engineering, AI, and customer facing problem solving. So it
That's
means
what I just
Python,
said.
SQL, API, cloud, data, Docker, DevOps. If you have everything in yourself, then okay, you're eligible for this salary. And in India, we have very, very, very limited number of engineers who are suitable or best fit for this profile. It's a rarest of rare combination. So the people who are getting higher salary, it means they have the knowledge and they're not looking for the expert in everything. If you have the intermediate knowledge of all these, yes, you are eligible to appear as a FD engineer. Salary structure is just double, triple compared to any other profile. For example, entry level means for the freshers, this is the salary, 18 lakh to 28 lakhs.
Yeah, so tomorrow data engineer will say, why do I need to become? Then my question back time was, do you want to earn more money? Do you want to earn reputation? Do you want to be a high flyer? This is the role. Now, how do you satisfy? You need to learn. I'll tell him you need to learn a little, some specific aspects, not the entire development. You need to understand specific things about software engineering. You need to learn a little bit of data engineering. You need to have cloud is everywhere. Cloud will be there. DevOps will be there. Every single role.
Yeah, I agree. So FDE is one of the prime platform or highly demanded segment in IT ecosystem nowadays. But remember, FDE is nothing. Whatever Theory is telling since last few years, guys try to be multi-skilled, learn this one, that one, try to learn these 4 5 things. So it's the same thing is nowadays in industry called the FDE. And the fee structure for the FDE is somewhere between 1,50,000 to 2 lakh. This is the fee structure for FDE. Anyway, so let's move ahead. So guys, open source DevOps versus Azure DevOps. So if you're looking for deep comparison, so here if you're planning to go with the Azure DevOps, so guys, Azure DevOps is free of cost. Repeating, Azure DevOps is free of cost. You don't need to buy any subscription or license. By default, you guys can use your own Outlook or Hotmail email ID. With the help of that, you guys can create an account. In your account, you guys can use the DevOps free of cost. Must means in one subscription, first 5 users will be free, and you are the alone. So it means you don't require any additional subscription for this. While in open source DevOps, it is free, but for infra and operation cost will be added. While here, this is free of cost first for first 5 users. It means just open DevOps portal, pass your email ID like Hotmail or Outlook email ID and use it free of cost. So in your subscription, what you guys can do, you guys can add 5 free users also. If the user is greater than 5, then $10 per user per month you have to pay. Setup is on-premise or open source DevOps setup is complex, while here Azure DevOps is one of the unified solutions. You don't need to set up anything. It's a out-of-the-box or ready-made solution available here. Just go and use it. You don't need to set up anything. For the open source DevOps, you have to learn the Jenkins, GitLab, Tekton, and many more things. While here we have the Azure pipeline. It's a built-in, and that is already built in. If you're looking for this is for the CI/CD pipeline. These are things you have to learn for the CI/CD. While here we have the service available, one service available which is called the Azure pipeline that is already integrated. In case for the project management point of view, in case you're looking for the service, so in open source DevOps, we are using Jira. I mean, this is one of the famous platform in open source. While here we have the service available, which is called the Azure DevOps board or Azure board. For the artifacts, to maintain your artifacts, So here, either company are using Artifactory or Nexus. Here we have the Azure Artifacts. In case you're planning to store the source code, so here we have the Azure repository. Integration with the Git is also possible here. Here, Git is already integrated. For the testing, a person who is working at the SQT, software quality testing, for the tester, like Qtest and test rails are available in open source, while here test plans are available. For the security point of view, SonarQube was one of the famous in open source DevOps, and here we have the Microsoft Defender and Intra ID. Whatever you want, you guys can use. Mostly we prefer to go with the Intra ID. If you're looking for the integration, so it's a workaround. Means you have, for the integration, you have to do the workaround and complex configuration. While it's a native by default it is integrated. Scalability must manage your own infrastructure for the scalability. Here, this is one of the SaaS-based solution, auto scale. Whenever the number of users will increase, the infrastructure will go automatically. And similarly, if you're learning curve, the learning curve is complex. If you're planning to learn the open source DevOps, it's not easy, it's a complex. While you're planning to learn the Azure DevOps, it's a moderate. It's easy. Anyone can learn it, guys. So these are some of the services we have to use. One is board, repos, pipeline, test plan, and artifact. Board is used for the project management. Repository is used to store the source code. Pipeline is mainly used to create a CI/CD pipeline. Test plan is mainly used for the testing purpose. And artifact you guys can use to maintain your artifacts and packages. Now again, I'll take a pause. We have just few minutes left. If you have any question.
Yeah, hi Raj. I have one question. So you compare with Azure DevOps and open source. So definitely, by seeing that, Azure is pretty much easy to manage as a single. It's offering more, but but if you see the trend, but most of the customers, due to license or whatever it is, they are opting, they want to go, open source, right? So
I'll tell you one thing. The companies are using the open source since very long time. If I'm talking about the Azure DevOps is a newer compared to open source one. For example, since last 20 years, companies are using the open source DevOps, right?
yeah.
And if any company is using the already, suppose using the open source DevOps, so what they will do? They will not change everything. This is number one. The open source DevOps is mainly with the AWS. So if you are the AWS cloud engineer or data engineer, in that case, the chances will be very high that your company will use the open source DevOps. But if you're Azure engineer, maybe Azure admin, Azure data engineer, Azure software engineer, so in that case, the chances will be 99% that your customer will use the Azure DevOps.
Okay.
Okay, for infrastructure as a code is for mission purpose, companies are using Terraform, or companies are preferring the Terraform. The reason Terraform will be used, you guys can use anywhere.
Yeah.
If you want, you guys can use in the AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure. But Azure DevOps is mainly inclined with the Azure ecosystem. So in Azure related project, in almost 100% cases, it will be used.
Mhm.
Okay, so
yeah.
you no need to learn 10 different softwares, tools, and platforms. Just learn one. Under it, we have 5 to 6 services available. These services you have to learn only. Here, India market is really ultimate. In beginning, I was showing here, opportunities are quite higher compared to anything else. For example, if you're working as a data engineer, another one is working as a data engineer plus DevOps engineer. So the person who is working, he has the idea of the both services or both of the platform. The chances for the quick selection will be very high. Even if somehow, nowadays the market analysis and better understand the situation of the market. So if something happened with you, so chances will be very high that very quickly you'll get the opportunity if you have multi-skill. That's why Arun initially he was talking about the FDE. Why nowadays FDE is highly in demand? The reason FDE is in FDE, what industry is expecting? Industry is expecting everything in one person. And industry is ready to pay double, triple, 4 times higher salary. For example, freshers are getting 25 lakh, 30 lakhs. Have you seen the platform freshers are getting 20, 25, and 30 lakhs? They're not getting. But if you're multi-skill person, yes, you'll get opportunity.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
And these are
Naveen,
the
yeah.
prime hiring
I have
location.
I have very one funny thing to tell Naveen. Okay, just an example. So, Ritu, are you there too?
Yes.
Very good. I always make sure that you are in listening to this. Do you know what is Git? Anybody knows what is Git? Git, Git. Naveen,
Yeah, it's a
We
repository of codes or any
integrate
Terraform
GitHub.
scripts. Yeah,
fantastic, beautiful,
test.
wonderful. So Git is it open source?
It's a kind of, yeah.
Are you sure or not?
No, sure, it is. It has both.
Yes.
Enterprises is there, open source is there.
So technically, Git is open source, right?
Yeah,
Now, if you what about GitHub?
No, it is not.
yeah,
Okay, so GitHub basically is a commercial platform, right? It has repository, it has collaboration, it will have your pull request, it will have issues, it will have actions, it has copilot, everything, right?
yeah.
Okay. So GitHub can contain either open it can contain open source also and proprietary code also. Hmm?
Correct.
ठीक है ना? So you can have GitHub actions for CI/CD. You can have GitHub Copilot for AI assisted development, right?
Yeah.
Everything right?
Yes, yes.
Now, who owns Azure?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Have you were you have you heard anything from 2018 about GitHub?
Yeah, maybe a few people might aware of it, but larger population might not aware of. It was popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you one of the population who is aware of it?
Yeah, we were hearing GitHub in, yeah, I hear in somewhere in 2020 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, Microsoft acquired GitHub in 2018
Okay.
for 7.5 billion. They gave it seven when they utilized Microsoft stock, 7.5 billion worth of the stock, and acquired GitHub. So GitHub continues to operate as a platform within Microsoft. It's a part of Microsoft. So the name GitHub is already there. They came up with the certifications GH300, GH500, GH this and GH that, right? So if you go to Microsoft site, you will see everything has been integrated within Microsoft. What does it mean? It means that if definitely there may be some XYZ softwares, but Microsoft or any other such company, if I was the owner of Microsoft or chairman of Microsoft, I'd say this one company is doing well and we think we can partner with the company. So initially they will try to partner with the company or that company will try to partner with them. But remember, Microsoft is a $4 trillion company. So what will it do?
Yeah.
Acquire it. If tomorrow a new technology comes out as open source software, such as and it'll be called Naveen Soft,
Yeah,
Naveen Hub.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is true, Arun. Because OpenShift is
So
one of the popular open
exactly, so
source.
I'll acquire you.
Now,
As simple.
yeah, IBM is
So,
already, but as of now, it is running as independent platform. Maybe it,
correct.
it might be feature, it might be enterprises or,
So
yeah.
this is what happens. At the end of the day, what happens is there'll be four or five big players, and they will let those things grow. And if there is something good, they usually acquire it and integrate. So GitHub is completely integrated with what? Azure services.
Mm,
So, so I mean, if it is completely integrated with Azure services and it is owned by them, I can do whatever I want with it.
Mm, got
So,
it.
so yeah. So, so that is another perspective that one should keep in mind. Okay, eventually, if I have to be on the safe side of the career, I'm not going to. I'm not here to fight Microsoft or IBM
Mm,
or Databricks or this.
correct.
My job as a consultant or as a full-time employee is to learn the skills that big companies and small and medium-sized enterprise will need. So I will
Yeah,
learn. I'll be multi-skilled in whatever is selling, man. Whatever
yeah,
is selling, I'll be specialized in that.
correct,
Whatever will
correct.
keep me busy for next 10 years, whatever has future,
Yeah,
whatever is,
yeah.
why are people suddenly learning Fabric? Because it had the highest
Mm.
adoption, right?
Why,
So,
why I asked this question, Arun? I'm part of infrastructure background, and 6 to 8 months back, VMware
huh,
was brought by Broadray something, and all of a sudden they
exactly.
increased 20% or 18% license cost. Now
Right.
all customer asking us to move forward any Nutanix or anything
Correct.
which is
Correct.
come cheaper. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
where yeah.
Right. Right. So yeah, those are the perspectives. See, it's pretty simple for us. Us, we are on the side where you know, we have to take advantage of whatever sells in the market for the next. We have to think about our short-term plan of next 2 3 years, and we have to think about the long-term plans of
Mm,
5 10 years. So in that, it makes sense. So I will go see. I have a limited amount of money. My daddy was not Ambani or Adani, right? In India, neither
mm,
was Elon Musk. So what I'll do is something simple. I have some money to invest in my career. I will
mm,
invest a specific amount of money every year, little bit. Every year, I'll keep a budget. I will earn, let's say, X lakhs. From that, I will keep a short amount of money for budget for myself so that I can learn something every year or every 2 years at least. I'll learn something new, invest that money and get focused, structured learning from somebody like Aradhya, it makes sense. It makes simple sense. There's nothing big about it.
mm,
Okay, back to Aradhya.
Okay, thank you, Arun. So these are some of the prime locations, guys, and like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, and Delhi NCR. And what are the salary structure companies are offering? These are available. And one more thing, if you're looking for the salary range in Azure DevOps in 2025, so for DevOps engineer, which is very highly in demand, the growth is 67%, and the salary range is somewhere between 10 lakhs to 35 lakhs. And what were the skill sets required are listed here: pipeline, Git, Docker, Terraform, Kits. Similarly, for DevOps engineer, 58% growth means yearly growth is 58%, 67%, 72%, 85%. Here, DevSecOps, 92%. Azure Pipeline Architect, 55%. Release Manager, 28%. And whatever the numbers you see here, it's not a dummy number, it's a real number, guys. Similarly, the salary range for them. So it means if you're looking for the demand, if you're looking for the growth rate, and salary structure is also very prime. And some of the companies like top companies hiring the DevOps talent like Adobe, Microsoft, Bosch, Infosys, SCL, Accenture, Wipro, TCS, Capgemini, IBM, Deloitte, Paytm, and many other companies. These are not the complete list. Almost 100% companies are hiring, whether the company is small, intermediate, or an enterprise level of the company. Almost everywhere you'll get huge number of opportunities related to DevOps. In fact, I tell you one thing. If you're working in any other competitor company, Microsoft competitor company, over there also they are using the Azure DevOps. Same way how exactly Microsoft is doing. Microsoft its own product they have Bicep. But what they are doing, they are using the competitor product. In 80% project, they are using the Terraform. Similarly, other, if you have something which is better than your competitor, the companies are accepting it. The best example is Microsoft. In their 80% project, they are using the competitor product, means Terraform, while they have their own product available in market, which is called the Bicep. So they are not using 100% Bicep, just 20%. And these we already have discussed. So these are the like whatever the skill set required and the salary we already have discussed. So and this is last slide. So guys, DevOps is mandatory for everyone, whether you are working as a software engineer, means software developer, you're working as an administrator, you're working as an architect, maybe you're working on the fabric or data engineer or something else. If you're the part of industry, you are writing the code, you are designing the system, then yes, DevOps will be useful. So this is one of the centralized product which you have to use. For automation purpose, Terraform will be used. For the code management, CI/CD pipeline, monitoring, and all these other purpose, we have to use the Azure DevOps. Now, I'm done here. So if you have any question related to the content so far I have covered, then please ask your question. From tomorrow, we are going to start the configuration. Means setup tomorrow will help you to prepare the environment at your local machine. Means practical implementation will be started from tomorrow. So if you have any question, then guys, please unmute and ask a question. If you don't have the question, you want to take time, so take your time and call me if you still have any open question in mind. Vivek, Ritu, Naveen, Gaurav.
No, sir, no questions.
No questions. So same link will be valid for all upcoming sessions from tomorrow. We same time morning India timing morning 9 to 11. We'll start. Yes, Ritu.
Sir, I have a doubt. Like I've understood the scope, but for me, I am new to Azure. I know very basic things that too I have studied this month. Otherwise, I didn't know anything for Azure. So, should can I directly start Azure DevOps? Like I know the base is Azure Mastery, and then we should come to it. But I just want to tell you my project scope from 1st September. My new project is starting, so I just want to share my scope also and would like to see you to suggest me should I do Azure Mastery first or should I do Azure DevOps directly?
Arun, your comment here.
Ritu, please tell me what the scope of your project is.
Yes, typing in the chat.
Tell me about the scope of your project. That आपने बोला ना मेरा एक my
हाँ हाँ
project is starting.
मैं chat में डाल रही हूँ. I am sending in the chat.
Okay.
Actually, I
can't.
understood that thing. After 4-5 lectures, it will bounce. I need to get an Azure Mastery first. That I am struggling to study on my own from open sources, but after a few points, the things are bouncing. So I know I have to study Azure, but I have less time. So can I start with DevOps? Like this is the scope I have sent it in the chat.
It is requiring certain. So I honestly feel. What's your background otherwise? I mean, education.
From non-IT background, I have done like SQL, Power BI. I was working as data analyst and recently like joined Cognizant as a developer.
And they put you onto this project?
Yeah, it's all the new thing for me. What current technologies are very different. Fivetran, Pivot Pro, Cinequa, all that I'm working on.
Yeah, I
So
know. I
this
know.
is
I exactly know
completely
how
new.
they do. So we had partnered with Cognizant for one of clients in US, and I know exactly what Cognizant they do to their own people. So I'm not surprised that you're getting this. So short answer is I would. I think I should do both. Eventually, I should do both. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, I would definitely mastery. I think mastery is a very funda, very basic. So that I must do. It's almost a must. DevOps, certain things will benefit you eventually. For this particular project, I want to go more with Azure Mastery for some reason.
So yeah, so
In
usually
your particular case,
yeah, what I suggest is hey, usually I'm saying hey, you should start with the Azure Mastery and then DevOps and Terraform, or then after you can go with anything else.
Be-
But it
because my ultimate this project, I want to gain Microsoft certification. So I want to go step by step in detail everything.
so I'll suggest you to go step by step.
तो आप बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहे हो. आप you I अगर honestly पूछोगे, if you are my own friend, relative, or colleague, or whatever, my mentee, I would have asked you कि जो आपने project दिखाया है, I would have said Ritu, please go with honestly, please go with Azure Mastery first. तो आपको एकदम clarity आ जाता है ना सारे services का एक साथ. And then when you do this, it will make a lot of sense, because these projects will give you, like, you'll be flying by on this project. Okay, this one that you have is not going to be easy. It is it is saying scope mirrors fabric. It is very easy to say scope mirrors fabric, but it's a whole thing.
For Fabric, they have different
I know,
resources. Mainly, my role is
infrastructure
Azure
support.
ML and Copilot.
हाँ, तो इसके लिए बेस्ट ये है कि you go with Azure Mastery first.
I think this is for Optum, I think, sir. Optum or something.
I
Account.
know. I exactly know what this is, and see, even you, Ritu, you made even Amrita excited, because he's seeing the same. Because yeah, without Azure Mastery, mastery. What is mastery? Mastery is different skill sets. So once you build those skill sets, they'll be applicable to any damn project.
Because currently I'm trying to study CI/CD pipeline, Kubernetes, but things are bouncing. I cannot study. So I thought I
तो
need
मत
a,
पढ़ो ना. You go
proper,
slow. Yeah, CI/CD and etc. You're studying, it's okay. You study it at a high level. But if you had a base of, जैसे कहते हैं ना, कि if you had the base, then you would have enjoyed CI/CD. CI/CD, I'm telling you, it's such a beautiful topic. Beauty. I mean, people who learn it, they really actually enjoy it. But when you have the base, you enjoy it really. Otherwise, you don't enjoy it. You feel like, अरे बाबा, किसने मेरे को एक और काम बता दिया.
correct.
All those branching and doing this and that. It's like yeah, you
I
haven't.
think it is more into infrastructure things, sir. I think that
Uh,
is maybe it's like all endpoints creation, workspace creation,
yeah, it's pretty much. I mean,
provisioning, creating Kubernetes
It's
clusters,
a platform engineering.
yep.
This is called the platform engineering.
platform engineering stuff. But anyhow, see, it's in Agile. She will not get everything, no, sir. Maybe they will assign the task and she has to do that. But she is more worried.
Yeah, they just want. See, at the end of the day, I hope we are not recording anymore, because everything I don't want to say.
We need to stop the
We are
recording.
we are partners with some of these organizations.
Yes, sir.
So anyhow, the
The
thing is, see,
recording is stopped.
हाँ, तो ऋतु, पहली बात यह है कि जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, चाहे वो दुनिया की कोई सी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, they are moving from, earlier many people used to work on teams. They used to assemble the infrastructure and then do whatever they wanted on there. So they had some standardized internal platforms that provided, they're moving from individually assembled infrastructure. Earlier, the infrastructure used to be individually assembled kind of a thing. They are moving from that to standardized internal platforms, which is, I'll use the term unified, integrated. Integrated is a better word. So integrate matlab kya hua? कि भैया वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उठाएंगे एक जगह से. If people are not understanding me, I'll speak English and Hindi and Tamil and Telugu also if you want. But they will pick up. तुम्हें क्या उठाऊंगा? Zumrani ji, I like your name. So what I'll pick up infrastructure, security, deployment. रेलवे प्लेटफॉर्म देखेगा भी, बस प्लेटफॉर्म देखेगा भी. तो प्लेटफॉर्म
Multiple
पे क्या,
sources will be
हाँ,
there.
तो प्लेटफॉर्म पे क्या क्या होगा? प्लेटफॉर्म पे मेरे I'll have infrastructure, I will have security, I will have deployment, I have observability, I'll have governance. So what are all these things? A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F or plus G plus M. ये सब हैं क्या? These are nothing but capabilities. And in capabilities के साथ हमें करना क्या है? These capabilities are together on one single place integrated. तो we can call it a platform. तभी तो वर्ड आया ना, प्लेटफॉर्म इंजीनियर, क्योंकि उसको थोड़ा ये थोड़ा ये वो आता है. तो ऐसा कौन सा हमारा कोर्स है जिसमें कि वी आर लर्निंग कैपेबिलिटीज ऑल हाउस टुगेदर ऑन वन सिंगल प्लेस. तो वी हैड टू गिव इट सम नेम. They had to give it some name. So he could have called it Azure Integrated something, बड़ा भारी नाम देते, लाख रुपए उसकी फीस रख लेते. But Aradhya said no. Aradhya said, let me talk about each of the capabilities in my course and design it in such a way that it gives the best knowledge to a student who is trying to develop his fundamental base very strong. Once he has developed the base, then although people can run Azure DevOps directly also, many people have done it also, but उनके पास आपकी तरह सितंबर में प्रोजेक्ट नहीं आ गया था. अभी जो हाँ तो they had some time, they had some more time than you, and they had other they had other means of help also. But
Yes, yes.
but in your case, the these capabilities that are there in his Azure Mastery course, if you do that first, तो एटलीस्ट सितंबर में ना सही, दिसंबर तक, दिसंबर से पहले एक्चुअली, राइट? बिकॉज तो आपको एक स्ट्रेंथ मिल जाएगा. वो स्ट्रेंथ एक बार मिल गया ना, यू नो व्हाट विल डू आदित्य जी, आई कैन प्रेडिक्ट अबाउट यू. कॉग्निजेंट आपका एज्योर एमएल तो ठीक हो जाएगा, सर्विसेज कर लोगे, चलो नाम हो गया आपका, एंड दे कैन मूव यू फ्रॉम वन प्रोजेक्ट टू अनदर. यू विल समहाउ मैनेज दैट प्रोजेक्ट जो अभी चल रहा है.
It's like
But
swimming only.
हाँ उसमें, but by the time December comes ना, you will be swimming so well. You will say, अरे मेरे को खाली swimming नहीं आता, I can do backstroke, I can do front stroke, I can do this, I can do that. You will become a champion. And then what they'll do is they'll say, हाँ अरे बाबा, this girl not only did this the project that we gave her, even though she was maybe 6.5 out of 10 there, but now she has acquired these solid skills and she has done couple certifications also. Certifications, Ritu Jumrani ji, please don't worry about them. We have an Anki method, and for each certification, there's a pattern of questions. So I will help you, or Radha ji will help you with the pattern of questions. Certification will be easy part. So certification should be the last worry on your mind. I can guarantee you that you'll clear it. Learning you acquire from Azure Mastery, and then if CI or CD is bothering you right now, learn the very basics. Arda you can tell Arda, I just want to understand like a high level overview. You can do that like in a webinar, workshop, something. Whatever is basics for you to remember. Then keep that in mind and do that much later. You don't have to do, if it is bothering you, don't do it now. Simple.
For project, I know it is monitoring kind, I will somehow survive. But longer term, I'll be stuck. That's why I'm worried.
Arey Baba, CTS में, you don't have to worry about your survival. You know, it is a delivery head's responsibility. He'll make your team survive one way or the other. वो बोलेगा ये नहीं तो Ritu, please take help from Urmila,
I
Churmila,
know this
Digita.
happens. This
Take help
happens
from
right now also.
take help take help from for this piece. Sit down with Amrita. Take his help.
So CTS, you can easily swim. No
Ah,
need to.
so CTS in an organization like CTS where there are 50 people on one account, you have to swim. There is no.
And which location?
So
Bangalore,
whenever I'm
Hyderabad.
asking the doubt, hope it is not recording because I don't want
No,
to
no.
get the name
It's
also.
not. It's not recording. No, no. And even if it get recorded, Arda will clean it out. Don't worry.
Which
Yeah,
Because
location?
I also don't want to
I have
take the
worked with.
name of the
See, I have
organization.
I'm a CTO. Okay, so I have partnered with very big organizations: TCS, CTS, Capgemini, Virtusa. I mean, you can name organizations. I've literally partnered with them, and I have 30 years plus experience, right? So in my lifetime, I have partnered with almost everybody, including IBM. So it doesn't. So don't worry about it. But from your question is ki what should I do first? First, you should do Azure Mastery, in my opinion.
I agree.
Sir, can we do both? Weekdays, Azure Mastery, weekend,
Do
DevOps?
one thing, just call me. Just call me after 30 minutes. We will discuss
No, I'll
plan.
Arunji, no, I'll give her the answer. What I really think. Because I want Ritu to laugh. Huh? So Ritu, uh, see, let's say I'm a girl. Think of me as a girl. I know it's tough, but I will say 4 days I'm going to do of dance. I will learn Kathak. Hmm? Then one day I will go to a class of singing. Like I want to learn classical music. Then last day I will do karate also. Sunday I will do karate. Hmm? Hmm? How does it look like? What does it look like? Can it be managed? Of course it can be managed. 4 days तो मेरा ये क्लास है, Saturday ये है, Sunday कुछ और है, तो manage हो जाएगा. What's the difficulty in that? So if I am your younger sister, would you ask me to do this? ऋतु बॉटम लाइन में ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि what will happen what
I didn't ask this question.
नहीं what will happen is Ritu, things can be done. See, if you budget your time, right? See, in life, let's say I'm a girl, the same. Forget this example. Take the real example. If I'm a girl, I have multiple response. First of all, I have office responsibility. Then maybe half an hour I want for myself. I have to do food. If I don't know if you are staying alone or if you are staying with parent family. There are some expectations. You have to do coordination with them, manage the house and manage whatever the basic things are. Or by I don't know about you, but my clothes get dirty between Monday and Thursday. One day I need for one day I need for basic shopping, cutting vegetables, something ration, and
Arun sir, I think this question asked by someone else.
it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who is asking the question. The problem is that I went into the bottom line is these courses can be done together for sure if I budget my time properly. If I budget my time properly, sure you can do them. But if you there's a word called distraction, Ardaji. Ardaji,
Yeah, Arun, I'm here.
Ardaji, uh,
Yes,
uh,
Arun.
Ardaji, Amrita ji से बात करते हैं हम. Amrita ji, what is the spelling of the word distraction?
Distraction. DISTRACTION.
अरे बाबा DES नहीं DIS.
DIS sir. DIS.
DIS. हाँ.
DIS.
अब ऋतु think about it because it's a fun part. हाँ. इसमें से अगर मुझे फोकस करना हो, आई वांट टू फोकस, उसमें से DIS निकाल दो तो बचा क्या? बताओ ना.
Traction.
ट्रैक्शन. ठीक
Yeah.
है. तो if I want to move my distraction, and I want to focus on traction on my career, huh, what will I have to do? Remove
Focus.
थोड़ा सा कुछ और निकाल देते हैं. ट्रैक्शन DIS तो पहले निकाल दिया था, ट्रैक्शन बचा था ना.
Yes.
Now take the TR also out. Remove that also. What is left?
Instead, we'll remove ION and we'll put track. We'll be on track.
नहीं.
Action, action.
Action is left. Action.
Okay. Yeah, action. Yeah. Okay.
Action बचा ना. तो सिंपल सा
Okay.
बात है कि जो भी ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहा है, things can be done together if you budget your time effectively. But suppose somebody has challenges, suppose somebody cannot manage their distraction, then we tell them, Baba, don't get distracted. Take the this out of it, take the TR out of it, and focus on action on one thing at a time. So we are very careful in what we counsel to other people. Who had asked this question? I thought it was Ritu. Who had asked this question?
Devi.
हाँ. So आपका हो सकता है. So that is when Ardha is saying कि hello. Yeah. So when Ardha is saying that, please call me on the side, what he means is कि yes. I mean, I know he'll first want to understand the background. See, if he was interested in okay, let's earn more and more money. Everybody, even if 12th standard person can do everything. Even 5th standard person can come and do everything. We could have put an ad like that, or we could have said, no, we are not doing live. Everybody can listen to my recording. Everybody can pay me X amount of money. But he's an ethical person. Everybody in COE, if you look at the leads, so he means to say, I want to give you some time to understand the background. Once I understand the background, the short answer is yes, you can do it. Should you do it? Depends on your background. So he might say, based upon your circumstances, your background, you have told me, I believe that X is better or X plus Y is better. So that's why he's spending extra time on counseling. But I'm telling you that, you have to think through. Because when you start doing these two courses together, then it will be demanding on your time. So, for example, let's say I'm a girl, right? I don't know, I'm a 22-year-old young girl or old girl. I have one boyfriend. I have one class that I go to for some gym or something, or I have my parents have some expectation on me. Something else is going on in my life. I'm watching. I like this one TV episode every day. You will have to give up. Just like from the word distraction, we gave up on certain things to focus on action. If you are willing to do that, go ahead and do those two courses. If you cannot sacrifice anything and want everything, ki Bhagwan, I will pray Hanuman ji, or I will pray Vishnu ji, or Shiv ji, or Mata ji. I'll say, please God, give me everything falling in my lap, but from my side. So Bhagwan will say, surely everything can be done. But do you want everything today only? Or do you want to, how do you want to, I mean, even he will say, even God appeared, he will say the same thing. Baba, let me understand what your background is, and I will guide you the right thing. If you are willing to sacrifice little bit, then of course you can get it. Amrita, whenever Amrita ji is there, whenever I see Ritu name, I feel like having like life's real discussions and fun. I right now I am sitting here imagining in my mind that Ritu is swimming in the Azure Lake. Cognizant, all the people are helping her. The delivery lead is also enjoying and helping her in one way or the other. There's a project manager also somewhere. He's also helping. So they're all swimming. And Ritu, don't worry. This will start in September. ये आराम से चलेगा. और क्या होगा? नवंबर में वो Thanksgiving आएगा. ये US will have some Thanksgiving, this that. India will have Diwali and all that. तो एक धीरे-धीरे चलेगा.
Movie is
आराम
coming to end, sir. Now Thanksgiving. We are all
हाँ,
going to Thanksgiving in 1 month.
exactly. So then with like Thanksgiving, this day, that day, Christmas.
Only the matter of September is almost August is over. Then September.
Exactly. So by the moment that comes, then US में nobody will work. Everybody in India will work at the back office. So you guys will keep work. We'll all the India holidays are in US. Holidays, breaks, people go out.
Not much
And
work. No
it'll be
need to worry.
easy. It'll be, exactly. No need to worry. You will swim very well. You just focus on Azure services. In the meantime, in this meantime, you pick up Azure Mastery and develop your strength. That's all. That will be the best approach for you to strengthen yourself for next year.
Correct.
हाँ, यही करना है.
Yes, definitely will do that.
Adha ji, thank you
Yes,
for.
sir.
I saw your invite, so I hope I have not troubled you too much today. I wanted to have some fun. See, I love your study, but I want to have 2 minutes of fun too.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Ron.
Alrighty, guys. But yeah, please do it sincerely from Ardha's next class, and in 2 months you'll find yourself a totally changed person in thinking. And if you don't believe that, go and ask Ammu how he met us on day one and what is he changed now or not.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Already
Thank you.
1:30 here.
Guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Arajya. Thank you.